Hello there, I'm James from e320 Vehicles and welcome to this gorgeous sunny day here in Bromley and this video presentation for this Mercedes E320. The car has a 3-litre petrol engine, just over 105,000 miles on the clock. It has a great service history, it has just been serviced and it has at least 10 months of MOT to run with no advisories. Overall the car is in excellent condition. It is also commensurate with its age and mileage, so please don't expect a brand new car in showroom condition. With that said, it's my job on this video to point out anything that isn't commensurate with age and mileage, and then it's your job to decide whether this car is in acceptable condition or not. It's certainly not my intention to point out every single stone chip and tiny scratch on this car, but of course, as I said, anything that isn't commensurate with age and mileage, I will certainly point it out. I would suggest that you do watch this video all the way through to the end, as I will be taking the car on a test drive, which will allow you to see how the car drives. So, starting from the front of this vehicle, first up we do have a bumper scuff just there. The bonnet looks in good condition. And the rest of this bumper also looks in good condition, again save the odd stone chip. Certainly nothing horrible, no major dents, and nothing that really detracts from the look of this vehicle. Moving down the near side, here we have our first alloy. These are 16-inch alloys, and we have a Pirelli tyre with absolutely shed loads of tread left. And there's a very light lipping on that brake disc there, so plenty of life left there. Looking down this near side, looks fairly straight from here. There are a couple of minor pinprick dents, shopping trolley dents, that kind of thing. There's a little chip just here above that trim line. Looking down the car from this angle, as we can see, looks fairly straight. Arriving at our second alloy, this looks in pretty good shape. Again, premium Pirelli tyre, and there's absolutely shed loads of tread left on that tyre. And there's a very light lipping on that brake disc again, so plenty of life left. Moving around the rear of this vehicle, all looks in pretty good nick. Small scratch to the centre of the bumper just there. And just around here we do have a bumper scuff just there. But again, no major dents. It's not creased in anywhere, the car. Just some surface grazes. As we look down the offside of this car, all looks really straight. No major dents. Again, I can see a couple of small pinprick dents. Shopping trolley, car park type dents, but nothing major. Here we have our third alloy. As we can see, it's in good condition. Yet again, a Pirelli premium tyre with absolutely shed loads of tread left. Small surface graze just above the wheel arch there. A couple of small stone chips on the driver's door, but again, nothing that really detracts from the overall look of the car. If you get up close, of course, you can see everything, but from a few feet away, the car does look pretty good, considering she's 15 years old. There is a surface graze just above the wheel arch there on the front offside. Here's our final alloy, Again, this looks in good condition. And to complete the set, a Pirelli tyre with shed loads of tread left. And there's no lipping on that brake disc. So to sum up, the exterior of this car, the brakes are in good condition, there's plenty of life left in the premium tyres, the alloys look good. Of course there are a few marks around the car, but she is 15 years old and she's entitled to show some signs of battle. So let's start our interior tour, and this is where this car really does excel. The interior of this car certainly belies its years and looks at least half its age. So as we can see, we've got full grey leather. Now this is heated, not that you'd want heated in this weather at the moment, it's the last thing you want. But come the winter, I'm sure you'll be glad of it. Whilst we're here, we may as well take care of some paperwork. First and foremost, we have the V5, and as we can see, easy for me to say, 4 former keepers on the logbook, plus the one that I'm covering for data protection reasons, so that's 5 former keepers, which, what does that work out? About 3 years per owner, which is perfectly normal. Here's our MOT certificate. As you can see, it expires 13th of June 2019, and no advisories. We have a stack of receipts in there for the services, and if I can just dig the service book out here, we can go through those. Mind just bearing with me while I find the right page. Getting warmer. That's the first page. Okay, here we go. So our first service was carried out way back in 2005 at what appears to be 9,761 miles. Then we got another one in 2007 at 20,944 miles. Another in 2008 at 32,310. And another in 2009 at 40,965. And all 4 of those were main dealer stamps. We've got one at 55,283 in 2011. One at 84,552. Actually, it could be 882, but anyway, 84,000 in 2014. So that was a main dealer, and then we have a specialist, and then the next 2 are also specialist, and they were at 92,034 and 98,063. And that was in 2015 and 2016. Another specialist service carried out at 102,547 in 2017, and then the one that I carried out earlier in June on 2018 with 105,344 miles. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 stamps, mostly main dealer and specialist, which is obviously fantastic history. We do have the owner manual in there, and as I say, it does have the receipts for the last few services. So to sum up the paperwork, this car's been really well looked after. 10 stamps is obviously fantastic history, particularly as most of it's main dealer and specialist. So let's continue our internal tour of this rather fantastic car. Into the back, as I mentioned, this is where this car really does excel. I mean, just look at the condition of these seats and the carpets. It really is in absolutely fantastic condition. No signs of any wear whatsoever, no rips, tears, burns, etc. Car smells nice and fresh. It's not a smoker's car. There is air conditioning, or I should say controls for the air conditioning in the rear of the vehicle. Electric windows in the rear as well. Let's pop into the boot. As we can see, there are the original mats. Original Mercedes mats. They are a bit discoloured. They're clean. but they're a bit discoloured, and they've certainly done their job of being sacrificial mats, because as you've seen, they've kept this carpet in absolutely first class condition. Again, similar story down the driver's side here, just fantastic condition. And into the driver's side, where the magic happens. Now just take a look at that driver's seat. Look at that. 15 years old, and barely any signs of wear whatsoever. Normally you'd expect to see splits and tears, but it's nice and firm, and it looks fantastic. So as I mentioned, this is where the car really excels in the interior. Which is good, because that's where we spend most of our time. Let's do a little bit of specification. So we've got electric mirrors, front and rear. Sorry, electric windows even, front and rear. Electric mirrors. Memory seats. Everything works in that respect. Okay. Automatic lights. Multifunction steering wheel, which of course controls things like volume, and the trip computer, etc, etc. We have our cruise control, speed limiter. This car comes with sat nav, which does work. Everything works on this car, apart from the front and rear parking sensors, which I'll touch on in a second, but let's finish off in here. We've got, as I said, heated seats. Both sides are heated. We've got our navigation. Let's actually see if we can switch this ignition on so we can show you. As you can hear, the air conditioning starting up there. It blows ice cold, the air conditioning, which is just what we need in this hot, hot weather.
We get them in boxes, and we
as you can hear,
sub-assemble them.
The radio works. There's our sat nav working. As you can see, it's an automatic. That is the light for the parking sensors. As I just mentioned, the parking sensors don't work. They do have them front and rear, but unfortunately they don't seem to be working. Typically what happens with parking sensors is that when one goes, they all go. They're fairly inexpensive to replace. Just replace one and the rest should start working, but for the sake of this video and this sale, the car will be sold without working parking sensors. Locking wheel nut, as you can see, plenty of storage. Synonymous with these cars, the sunglasses holder, glove box, visor, all works. So yeah, everything works. Let's just switch this ignition off. Actually, let's start this engine, because the beating heart of this wonderful car is of course a 3-litre petrol engine. Just bear with me while I pop this open. So there she is. As you can hear, ticks over beautifully. I purposely haven't got this engine bay cleaned for a couple of reasons. One, it's not the sort of place you really want to get water. You definitely don't want to get it amongst these electrical components. And secondly, of course, by washing the engine, it hides any oil leaks or anything like that. And this car is hiding nothing. and I'm going to keep it that way. Quick look underneath, no fuel leaks, no fluid leaks. So with that said, I think it's time to take you on a bit of a test drive. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the test drive part of the video. And the only downside to this is I'm afraid you have to look at me. I apologise for that, but there's nothing I can do in that respect. So, how does this car drive? That's what you want to know, of course. It drives really, really well. It's very, very smooth and refined. If you're used to these cars, then I'm sure that you will be perfectly aware of how smooth and refined that they do drive. And this one is no different, despite the fact it is 15 years old. There's plenty of life left in her yet. She's not done with yet, that's for sure. The gears, they change very, very smoothly. Automatic gearbox, of course. There's plenty of power. Engine sounds nice, and as you saw there, it upshifted on time and nice and smoothly. So no issues whatsoever with the gearbox, and no issues whatsoever with the car pulling through all the gears, and a nice, smooth, powerful drive. Everything works in terms of the electrics, as I showed earlier. The electric windows work, one touch. The seats move backwards and forwards, as they should. Air conditioning blows nice and cold. The sat-nav works. Despite this heat, I have actually tried the heated seats, and they do work. So apart from the parking sensors, front and rear, everything is working. And as I mentioned earlier in the video, you can of course repair those parking sensors fairly inexpensively if you choose to, or not really. It's not exactly one of life's essentials. In weather like this, air conditioning is the essential, and that blows nice and cold, so that's probably at the moment the most important thing. There's no horrible knocks, rattles, creaking, nothing like that. You go over bumps, there's no bangs, no unpleasant noises whatsoever. The car drives very, very smoothly. So the $64,000 question, excuse me, is would I be content to put my family, that's my fiance and my son, into this car and set off on a 500-mile road trip? Yes is the answer to that. I would absolutely have no reason whatsoever to have any concerns whatsoever. This car is an excellent car to drive, backed up by that fantastic service history, of course, and a recent MOT with no advisories. The brakes are nice and sharp, no issues there whatsoever. Just find a little stretch of road here, floor the car, and as you heard, brakes work perfectly well. So I think that concludes the test drive element of this video. Hopefully you found that useful. So, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen it all. You've seen the exterior, you've seen the interior. You've seen the paperwork. You've heard the engine start, and you've seen how it drives. The car wants for nothing but a new owner, which could be you, of course. Please contact James from Elite Pre-Owned Vehicles to book a viewing and a test drive on 0800 689 3845. Alternatively, you can contact me sales at elitepreownedvehicles.co.uk, or you can pop onto my website elitepreownedvehicles.co.uk, where you can see my other stock, find out a little bit about me and my business, and most importantly, see 5-star reviews from other happy customers. Well, I hope you found this video useful and you enjoyed watching it, and I look forward to showing you this car soon. Thanks for watching.